It's the starting five. I'm Yaron Weitzman. The NBA Finals are finally here. It is going to be an awesome series. Here are 5 predictions for this matchup between the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. Prediction number 1, the series goes 7 games. Both these teams are so good from the top down. They have good ownership, really good front offices, excellent coaching, multiple stars, elite role players who know their roles and thrive in them. But the matchup I am most excited to see is that of the league's #1 defense, the Boston Celtics, against the Warriors' historic offense, which has been #1 in the playoffs. Of course, when we talk about the Warriors' offense, it all revolves around Steph Curry, and it's this matchup that I'm really pumped to see how it plays out. Steph versus the Celtics defense. Steph has been on absolute fire throughout the postseason, and the pick and roll with him and Draymond Green is not just one of the best plays in the league right now, it is one of the most potent attacks the league has ever seen. The Celtics, we can assume, will guard it by switching. They're going to have Marcus Smart, the Defensive Player of the Year, start off on Steph, and probably Jayson Tatum on Draymond Green. But they switch a ton, and the only way you can guard the Warriors is by switching all their on-ball and off-ball stuff. That's what the Warriors do. They force you into all sorts of decisions. Guys like Tatum, Al Horford, Grant Williams, they've all shown themselves really capable of dancing with guards out on the perimeter. But of course, Steph is a different level. That said, the Celtics defense is another level in itself. This is why I'm so excited for this matchup. Steph and the Warriors offense against the Celtics D is like the irresistible force versus the immovable object paradox brought to life on a basketball court. I cannot wait to see how this plays out, and I think we're going to need all 7 games to determine the winner. Number 2, Jayson Tatum enters the chat. Yes, I know. If you're a basketball fan and you've been watching the Celtics all season, and particularly in the playoffs, you're probably saying he already is a star in this top 5, top 10 conversation. But we all know the finals is a different animal, and if he's able to perform at this stage to the level he's been performing throughout the postseason, it's going to put him in a different stratosphere. First, though, let's take a minute to appreciate what Tatum has done to get this far. He's taken out Kevin Durant, Giannis, and Jimmy Butler, and is putting up incredible numbers. He was already an awesome scorer, but his defense has been all NBA level, and he's become an elite playmaker as well, the kind of guy who can leave a defense without any options. He's also become really good at hunting out weak options on the defensive side, and this is where the Warriors could be in a little bit of trouble. We know teams do this often against Steph, and Jordan Poole offers Tatum another option. Look to see a lot of times where he calls up the guy, whoever Steph and Jordan Poole are guarding, maybe Marcus Smart, to set a screen and try to get a switch and then go to work against that inferior defender. The Warriors, it looks like, should be getting Gary, don't call me the midden, Payton, the second back, which will make a huge difference, though I expect them to slide him onto Jaylen Brown and try to take advantage of Brown's often sloppy dribble, but he's also going to help on Tatum and the rest of the perimeter defense. Number 3, Steph completes his resume. If you're following the discourse at all this week, you know the big story heading into the finals is, what is Steph Curry's legacy? Where does he rank in the top 10? Does it matter that he doesn't have a finals MVP on his resume as of now? To be honest, I usually find these sorts of conversations kind of silly. Who really cares what your legacy is or where you rank, whether in the top 10, top 15, or top 20, especially with a player like Steph, who we can all agree has not only been an all-time great, but has completely changed the fabric of the sport, the DNA of the sport, maybe more than any other player in history. Just look at how youth players go about shooting the ball. Look at how NBA teams play. Everything about the game of basketball is different because of Steph's greatness. That said, I also understand that within this silliness, it's fun to rank things, and these things do, in a way, sort of matter if you're understanding that they're all basically silly. And when you're making judgments about who belongs in the top 10, top 5, stuff like that, you are picking between guys with amazing resumes, and the differences between them, the margins are razor thin. So with that being the case, yes, a finals MVP would make a huge difference, or not having a finals MVP on his resume would probably be a demerit against Curry. Number 4, Warriors in 7. First of all, yes, we can all agree that picking the home team in the 7th game is the ultimate cop-out of predictions. I cop to that. Here's the thing though, these teams are both so evenly matched, and the matchups are so fun and kind of funky, it's really hard to make predictions. So why am I going with the Warriors? For one, the Celtics' occasional sloppiness worries me just a bit. We saw this most notably at the end of Game 7 against the Miami Heat. But I'm also worried about the Celtics' health. Rob Williams looked like a shell of himself in the last series, and the Celtics need him both as a protector of the rim, but also a lob threat on offense. And Marcus Smart apparently is extremely banged up. I'd be shocked if this series didn't go at least 6 games, and pretty surprised if it didn't go the full distance. But I think the Warriors have enough and just enough advantages to eke out a 7th game win on their home floor, giving Steph, Draymond, and Clay ring number 4. Prediction number 5, everything I just said will be proven to be extremely wrong. How do I know that? Let's check in and take a look with what happened the last time I decided to go on the record with some predictions. You see that on the screen. What I wrote would be the finals for this year before the season. I had the Nets over the Lakers. How'd that turn out? Exactly. I kid, but there's also a greater point here. Yes, the predictions are fun, but don't harp too much on them. Instead, after what's mostly been a blah postseason, just sit back and enjoy what I truly think will become an all-time great finals matchup between 2 great teams, both of whom are capable of winning a title and will put on what I believe will be a great show. That's your starting 5. I'm Yaron Weitzman. Be sure to keep your eyes here for more great coverage as the finals continue.